you already understand what is ethics, what ethics is. But I want to, how's that, remind you all about what is ethics. Simply, in Oxford Dictionary, ethics means the study of what is morally right and what is not. So, in short, when we talk about ethics, we're gonna discuss about right or wrong, bad or good about something. So this the whole point of this subject. We're gonna see everything from the ethics side, from the moral side, right or wrong, or bad or good. Okay, that's simply. And is it important to know about ethics? I think we can how's that? Try to see what Chief Justice Orwell said in civilized life, law floats in a sea of ethics. So for the law students, it's really important to know about ethics, because all legal norm comes from ethics norms or morality. So most of legal norm come from morality or moral values. So it's important for us when we talk about justice, when we talk about injustice, we're gonna enter to the field of this philosophy, what we call as ethics. Okay, so ethics is more wide than law. Law is just a little part of ethics. This is how we connect ethics, how we try to find out a connection between ethics and law. And I want you pay attention in this connection between law and ethics, because we're gonna talk about this, the connection between law and ethics, at the end of this session. Okay. Okay, I want to start when we talk about judge ethic. We're gonna start with Bangalore Principles of Judicial Conduct in 2002. There are 6 basic principles of Bangalore Principles of Judicial Conduct. First, freedom. It's really important for guarantee a fair trial. Is freedom of the trial and the freedom of the judge as part of trial. And the second, in impartiality. It's very important that the judge, in carrying out his duties, does not expect compensation and without prejudice. So just have to see everyone is same before the law. And the third, integrity, regulates that a judge must ensure that his behavior is not blameworthy from a reasonable observation point of view. Yes, a judge, it's a must for judge to have integrity. And the fourth, propriety or politeness, requires that a judge avoid inappropriate behavior and image in all judge activities, and must be willing to accept personal restrictions that may be considered burdensome by the public. Maybe you ever heard about hakim menempuh jalan yang sunyi. This is how we can describe about this principle, about politeness, how to just to protect, how to just to build his environment, maybe far from the public space, because has to how to that keep contact with many kind of interests that can disrupt his studies. Okay, the fifth is equality. Ensure equal treatment of all people before the court. A judge must be aware of and understand the diversity of society arising from various sources, such as skin color, religion, belief, sex, and ethnicity. It's like if you have ever heard about principles in our legal system, hakim harus menggali hukum yang hidup di dalam masyarakat. It's part of how the judge to applicate the equality principles of Bangalore principles. And the last is competence and obedience. It's a must for judge to be to have competence and obey the rules. Plus the judge in position of devoting his professional activities above all other activities. A judge will take serious steps to improve his knowledge, expertise, and personal qualities to carry out his studies. Yes. In practice, every judge here in Indonesia in Supreme Court gets like regularly training about many issues like elections or the conflict in the public service. Something like that. So, regular Indonesia. In Indonesia, we have code of ethics and code of conduct. It regulates on decision of the chairman of Supreme Court, number 47 of 2009. It is a guide in order to maintain and uphold the honor, dignity, and behavior of judges in carrying out their professional duties and in community relation inside and outside of the court where the judge work. Okay, this is important for judges to make like boundaries when they do their duties, when they solve a case inside the court and outside the court, how they have to respond, how they have to decide something when they meet a problem, when they have like a concrete situation. They may be connected to a case that they are handling. So this is like a boundaries for judges to make sure that they still have freedom, impartiality, integrity, equality, like I said before. There are 10 basic principles in these decisions of Chairman of Supreme Court. First is behave fair. Second, be honest. Third, behave wise, be independent, high integrity, responsible, uphold self-reference, high discipline, behave humbly, and be professional. This is like really, how's that, general principles. This is like abstract principles. That's ethic. There isn't like concrete norm, and there are sanctions at the same time in a norm, because this is not legal norm. This is not a law. This is not an act. This is ethics. Because this is ethic, this is we can see it's like abstract norm, so wide to to see this norm if we want to compare with legal norm. Okay. I can say that this is like abstract norm, but in modern mechanism of ethics, there are imposition of sanctions mechanism. So this is kind yeah, I say that this is like abstract norm and there is no sanction, but in fact in the concrete situations there are sanctions if the judge try to do something that's different what decided in determined in this code of conduct of code of ethics. So the mechanism like judge found guilty of violating code of ethics and code of conduct were severally sanctioned with this honorable discharge by Judicial Commission ethics session. So we have in Indonesia we have like judicial commissions just to make sure the dignity, the integrity of the judges. So there's like how to say that how to say pengawas, something like supervisor, something like that, that watch the judge behavior in this when they are doing their duties inside of the court or outside of the court. Okay, so when the judge is found guilty of violating code of ethics and code of conduct, they're gonna get sanctioned by Judicial Commission ethics. But these sanctions is like not how to say that this like a recommendation given by Judicial Commissions to the Supreme Court to take the final sanctions to give the final sanction to the judge that found guilty. And before the sanction, like I said before the sanction have binding force, the judge's questions must be given the opportunity to defend himself before the honorary board of judges atau Mahkamah Kehormatan Hakim hearing. Okay, jadi so before the sanction have binding force, before the sanctions given to the judge found guilty, they give opportunity, they get opportunity to defend himself about why I do this in front of Mahkamah Kehormatan Hakim, so they can defend himself, and Mahkamah Kehormatan Hakim will make sure that okay, we can consider that you are guilty or you are not guilty. If Mahkamah Kehormatan Hakim say that you are proven guilty, then Mahkamah Kehormatan Hakim or Honorary Board of Judges delivered the sanctions to the Supreme Court to be implemented. So the last step is come back to the Supreme Court. So from the Judicial Commissions and then to the Honorary Board of Judges, Mahkamah Kehormatan Hakim, it's just like a process to give a recommendation to Supreme Court to finally punish the judges found guilty. Okay, like I said before, I want you to pay attention about this slide, the connections between ethics and law. In this mechanism, we talk about mechanism, about the code of conduct, about the code of ethics is written in a paper, on the paper, like legal norms, code of conduct and code of ethics regulated in decisions of chairmen of Supreme Court, where it is a product, a legal product. You can say decisions are kind of SK Ketua Mahkamah Agung. So it's like ambiguity to say that is abstract norm contains in a decision of Supreme Court, which is it is a legal product, SK surat keputusan legal product. So it's like ethics and legal. I want you to realize the difference between legal and ethics. Ethics and legal. What difference between legal or law and ethics? Law is a concrete norm written on a paper or written concretely and has sanction by the state or the government. Ethics, it's like come from your inside, consciousness, come from consciousness of human being. It's not concrete, it's abstract norm inside a human being, and how to implement the sanctions is come from within of human being. This is the ethics, this is the moral, how to implement moral norm. There is like implementation from within, not implementation from the external side of the human beings. So the second is there is no sanction, like sanctions that we know in law. I mean, like in law, if you don't pay tax, you're gonna get like you have to pay more, or you gotta go to jail. That's in legal side. When we talk about legal norm, we're gonna talk about sanctions, like concrete sanctions. It come from outside to punish someone that violate the legal norm. But ethics, it's different. Ethics, how to implement sanctions in ethic issues. When someone violates ethic norms, the sanctions come from inside of human being, not come from outside, like tax officer, something like that. If you don't pay tax, you feel guilty inside of yourself. You feel I think I got wrong. I think it's not good. I think it's bad, something like that. That's the moral sanctions. That's the sanction of ethics. But in the modern practice, that's really different. We got difficulty to recognize which one ethics, which one law. Because if you in this mechanism, how to when the judges found guilty of violating code of ethics, they got sanctions. The punishment sanctions dishonorable discharge. They can, how to say that, fired from the judge, get fired, or they can, how to say that, pemotongan gaji, ya, how to say that, something like that. It's like administrative sanction, but we call in daily life, in nowadays, as ethic sanctions. It's confused. We cannot make difference between law and ethics again because of our phenomenon called ethic positivism. We try to write in the concrete norm ethics in concrete norm and concrete sanctions like law, and we call it as ethics. It's nothing, I think. I want to open the discuss about this. Maybe you have different argument, different opinions with me about this issue. We can discuss about it, or you maybe have different questions that we can discuss later. Okay, maybe that's all for me. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much for the fruitful discussions and presentations. So right now we go to the Q&A session. To students who wanted to ask directly to Dona, you can raise your hand. So I will invite you to go to the microphone. Audio microphone. Ada pertanyaan? Do you have questions? Who's the way the who is will the who is will be the first? Who will be the first? Ada? Maybe we are still waiting for the questions, but I will try to raise my question first, related to the code of conduct and code of ethics. I think this is something interesting topic in Indonesia because there are a lot of issues related to the code of conduct and code of ethics violence set by the judges itself. First, in your opinion or in your point of view, what is the challenge to enforce the integrity and also the freedom of the judges, to keep them or to maintain them obedience, obey or comply with the code of ethics and code of conduct itself? What is the challenge? This is the first question. The second question is related about the issue code of conduct and code of ethics under the issue, the latest decision made by the Constitutional Court, where the Anwar Usman, as the chief of the Constitutional Court, then involved in the decision-making process. Meanwhile, we know that there is a principle say that if you have the conflict of interest, you should pull yourself out from the discussion or decision-making process. But then he joined to decide the decision that related about the requirement of age to be or to run as the candidate of presidential election itself. How you see the position itself? What is your opinion or your perspective related about this issue? I think it is the two questions from me. So next question. You have question?
Okay, maybe I will answer this question first before I forget the question, Bang. Okay. Two questions with one answer. I think the answer is like what we can see, what we can watch from the news about what happened now with Anwar Usman as a judge. That's a trouble. That's a trouble. That's the main troubles. I don't want to say that this is a culture of our people that not respect, that not put enough respect to code of ethics or code of conduct. They are not professional enough in their professions, including a judge. In here, nobody can guarantee that the judge must be must have integrity, high integrity, high discipline, impartial. Nobody can guarantee. Any programs, any trainings held by Supreme Court or maybe judicial commissions, it's only like a formal program. it's come back to the personal of the judges, how they can protect themselves to stay away from the conflict of interest. It's really hard to keep, for example, myself, when I see that there is conflict of the potential of conflict interest that gonna involve me in a case, and there is really clear guidance, really clear norms, really clear way out in code of conduct or code of ethics. What should I do? For example, Anwar Usman should do when he is handling a case that related to his niece, in the case. They have to, what's that? This is a potential, high potential to involve me in conflict of interest. So I will not join in majlis, yeah, for this or for this particular case. The problem is like coming to the moral of judge. I cannot see in these institutions 2 years, almost 2 years I am here, and I cannot see that the judge has professional and uphold ethics and morality more than their personal interest. At least they gonna talk about their career or their placement, something like, okay, I will go to the court type A and then go to the court type B and then go to the court type C, something like that. This is about the strategy, not about the morality. Nobody, I can say that it is like pessimistic of our judicial today, but the fact is nobody think about the how to say that about the access to justice by the people. They just talk about the career. So this is a career system, how to build your career. This is full of interest, and then the access to justice for the people gonna put aside. So this is, I don't know, I cannot answer that. What the problem? The program is enough given to the judges almost every month. We hold like bimbingan technical training, something like that, to the judges, how to handle the case, how to stay away from the conflict of interest. We have complete and almost perfect regulation to provide to prohibit our judges to include in conflict of interest. But the fact is, many judges how to that be defendant in his court. It's a shame, but that's a fact. As a young generations, a part of young or youth judicial society in Supreme Court, I feel a little bit pessimistic about what happened today. But I think the main source why this happens is the lack of morality from the judge itself. How we can talk about morality to someone that has no moral or lack of moral? So that's a problem, I think. I don't know. We try to build a perfect system, give like just has a low salary. No, it's a high salary, more than 15 uh, million a month. It's enough for public servant, right? But in fact, yeah, almost every time uh, uh, any conflict of interest involved how to say, almost every judge that I know ever experience conflict of interest, lack of morality. I think that's the main source of all of this problem.
Something trouble with the Singa, I think. Kayaknya sinyalnya Dona ya. We're still waiting for Pak Dona to come back to our Zoom meeting. Yeah, we are still waiting. Do you have any questions related about the judge? I think it will be good conversation and discussion to know Bang Dona, because Bang Dona is one of the best alumni. I mean the millennial best alumni who work for the Supreme Court right now. So meaning that they are the potential to be a judge in the future, because he just already selected as the civil servant in the Supreme Court. Dona is also famous when 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 he were undergraduate student. He involved in the several competitions like debate, constitution debate, and mooting, and so on and so forth. So one of the, yeah, I think that most of the lecturers here know about the Dona as a student. Maybe you have to wait until Dona come back to this. Uh, so sort of conduct. Also. Yeah, I think you wanted to ask to Dona.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Already.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I lost my connection.
Okay. I think now we going to the floor again. I will offer the microphone to the floor to the student to ask you directly. So Nino will be the first. Just go to in front to the microphone and identify your name or your identity by saying your name, then your question.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. And sir, hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can hear you clearly.
Sir, permission to introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Nino Alvarizanadi, and I'm from Law Faculty in international class. So I want to ask, sir, about the how do you respond, sir, to the latest issue that have become a hot topic of conversation regarding the news about the Constitutional Court judge drafting article regarding the age of presidential and vice president candidates. And some say the court made a decision too quickly. Did the judge is violate the code of ethics, which is written in 10 basic principles, and one of them is that the judge must be wise and must be fair. And that's all my question. Thank you, sir.
Another question, maybe we try to select the questions, then Dona will answer the question simultaneously from Sama. Okay, just come to in front.
Okay.
open the microphone first.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Azifa Shakila. My question is about the Mahkamah Kehormatan Hakim. So, how does the Mahkamah Kehormatan Hakim ensure independence in the proceeding against judges who are accused of ethical violation? And is there any example of case where the MK or Mahkamah Kehormatan Hakim was involved in the evaluation of the judge's case of judge's code of conduct? Okay, that's all my question. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Another questions maybe? No? Yeah, just you. You wanted to answer two questions first, then we go to
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I need to answer two questions first.
Okay.
Let me answer the first questions. Delivered by, I'm so sorry, I forget your name.
The first one, the boy is Nino. The second one,
Nino. Okay, Nino.
Asifa.
The second one.
Asifa. Right? Asifa.
Okay, Nino and Asifa. Okay, I will answer Nino's questions first. How I respond about the hot topic nowadays, or about the conflict, how's that? The the conflict of interest involved Anwar Usman and in Mahkamah Konstitusi, Constitutional Court. There is a principles in our legal system how to trial a case for a judge. There is principles say that you cannot trial yourself. So the judges cannot punish himself. So it means that if you think that this case is potentially you have a conflict of interest, you have to let it go, and you cannot join in the majlis to trial this case. In Anwar Usman cases, it's like clear, very clear, that he violates that principles. They try to trial himself, his family. In our legal procedure, to be a witness, I don't say the defendant, to be a witness, the judge will gonna check that if you have family, you know this witness, this person, your family member or not, mother, father, hubungan sebenda until the third generation, something like that, right? So just to make sure that there is no conflict in interest, there is no conflict interest for the parties and the judges. I think it's clear how to respond it, like public responded. I can say that it's clear there is conflict interest what Anwar Usman did in the case to decide to make decisions on a case involves his niece Gibran. It's like how to say that? It's written clearly to mention Gibran how to say that? Not verdict. It's kind of the how to say, I forget the penggugat. I forget the term of penggugat. When they
you can say the
what,
petitioners
sorry?
or applicant.
Yeah, petitioners. Yeah, petitioner said clearly that this petition is about Mas Gibran. I'm one of fans of Mas Gibran, so I want the young generation to be leader, have the same opportunity to lead this country, something like that. So at the same time, you know that you are the uncle of someone that mentioned clearly in the petitions, right? So this is clearly conflict of interest, and Anwar Usman as a judge, constitutional judge, should, I can say that, stay away from that case, or not get involved anymore at all about that case, because you're gonna violate one basic principles in our legal system. You cannot punish yourself because you have conflict interest in that situation. Okay, that's my answer for the Nina's question. And for Shiva questions. I'm so sorry, I little forget about your question, Shiva. Your questions is my opinion about MKH, right? About my MKH, right?
Yes.
Mahkamah Kehormatan Hakim.
Yes, yes. It's about the MKH process.
Yeah.
Did you have the examples of the case?
Yeah. You know what happened to the judge? Decide a case about postponing the presidential elections. Right now, he get punished. The punishment is he how to say that? He ordered to move to another court with lower type. So that's a kind of punishment in internal Supreme Court. That it's like you violate our code of conduct. You are not competent enough to make decisions, like it's a rush and kind of stupid decisions to postpone the presidential elections. It's not your competence, your trial competence to decide how to postpone the presidential elections. So because violates the competence principles, the last principles in a code of conduct and code of ethics in Indonesia for judges. So the trial that case have to move to the court, to the lower type court right now. So he is not staying in Jakarta anymore. I don't know where he is right now, but he is not in Jakarta court right now. That's a part of punishments. I think the punishment mechanisms, how to impose the punishment in internal Supreme Court, Mahkamah Agung, I think it's quite effectively, but it's not guarantee that the judge have enough ethics or morality after get sanctions. It's like kind of administrative sanctions. It's not like ethics sanctions. We cannot make a difference between what administrative sanction and ethics sanctions. I think it's totally same. So we can make sure that after get sanctions, and then how's that? The morality of the judge will be repaired to the situation before. No, it's not like reparatory, because it's not ethical how to that how to ethical mechanism. This is a legal mechanism. So yeah, the how to punish judge, how to MKH works in inside of Supreme Court nowadays, it effectively works. But we cannot make sure that this is part of ethical sanctions or not. Just, yeah, maybe that's my answer.
Okay, we will going to the second Q&A sessions, but before that, there is the breaking news from another group say that we are a champion at the Tulungagung debate competitions as the winner.
Oh,
So we beat
oh,
actually we beat the UI Universitas Indonesia from the
wow, that's good.
It will be good at us. Okay,
Yeah.
so now we focus again to the second question session, and it is also the last question and answer session. So for the questioners, the person who wanted to questions, just go in front.
No, I cannot hear your voice. It's still mute.
Yeah, open the microphone first. Yeah. Yeah. What? No.
Okay. Yeah.
Sir, my name is Ahmad Agipari, and I will ask you about in the interest jurisprudence school where the law is not the only source of law, while judges and other officials have the widest freedom to make legal discoveries. So, sir, does the judge's decision sound like the judges is looking for another solution, sir?
I think yes.
One.
Introduce myself. My name is Salma Latifa, and my question is, what is the likeness and the heaviest sanction that can be given by MKH? Question.
The sanction that can be given. Ada lagi? Cukup? Okay, it is enough. So it will be the last question. The last questions.
Okay. Okay. I will I little forget about the first questions, but I will answer from the last one. There are several sanctions if a judge violates a code of conduct or code of ethics, like its type how is that heavy, like middle sanctions, heavy sanctions, middle sanctions, and the last one is like light sanctions, maybe. The term I'm not sure in English, but it's like berat, sedang, ataupun ringan. So in kind of ringan, sanksi ringan, they can get like how to that attentions or attention note from the chief of Supreme Court that try to how to that give to order to do something or not to do something again. If you do it again, we're gonna force you with a heavier sanctions. For example, just like a note, orally or written. That's it, like administrative sanctions, and it's I think it's most of ethic sanctions is like type sanctions, the sanctions ringan ini. Jadi kind of don't do it again, written by the chief of the judge in court where the judges, the troubled judges, the troubled judge are working in, something like that. And if you do like middle how's that, violations, something, so you can a judge can get punishment, like they can postpone your salary for temporary time for 6 months until a year, something like that. That's the kind of sanctions of ethics in Indonesia. They gonna cut off your salary temporary, something like that. And the heaviest one of the ethical sanction in Indonesia is you got fired as a judge. And then the next process, maybe they violate a criminal code at the same time. So the judges will get fired, and at the same time will put in process of the criminal system, like criminal trial, maybe gonna in jail for several years, something like that. So the important things, the interesting issues for this case is we cannot see the ethical sanctions. We see all of the sanctions for the judges. The judge violate the code of ethics of conduct. Of the sanction is legal sanctions, administrative sanctions, and criminal sanctions, something like that. Criminal sanctions. Okay. For the Ahmad questions, Bang, can you repeat for me?
What's the question? Pertanyaan tadi?
Ahmad.
Yeah, Bang. Because I also forget the question.
Okay.
Is in the interest jurisprudence school where the law is not the only source of law, while judges and other officials have the widest freedom to make legal decisions. Discoveries. Does the judge's decision sound like the judges is looking for another solution, sir?
Kebebasan hakim untuk menemukan hukum.
Putusan hakim itu hanya mencari solusi atau apa?
Berkaitan dengan
putusan hakim.
Okay, I will try to answer it. I like the idea judgment law, but it's not suitable with our legal system. It's the civil law system. But one of maybe many people that agree with this idea, judgment law, because if we try to stay with our system only based on act or law written on the paper, something like act, like decree, something like that, we cannot solve the problem in the reality. Almost every time when we find out the new situations, judgment law. But we don't want to say in Indonesia judgment law. We say that, oh, hakim is digging the values in society. Hakim, as the judge, try to do finding norm, penemuan hukum, right? Something like that. It's part of judgment law, how to solve the problem that you don't find how to solve it like in act written on the paper. So this part of judge freedom to solve the case, judge free to interpret what the article said. One article said it, that tools to interpret it. So it's part of judge freedom to solve a case, and judge have to ensure himself have freedom from the pressure come from his institutions or external institutions, just to make sure that, okay, this is my case, I will do whatever I want. The judge, this is like, how to say that, they represent God in this world. If you want to, if you are judge, you have like a full power on your hand to solve the problem. In case you make a wrong legal application on your decisions, there is like how to that the higher level courts, like how to say it, Bang? Pengadilan tingkat banding, appeal court, and finally and the Supreme Court. So this part of a principle of free freedom, impartial, independent of a judge. So if I that I can explain about your questions, but maybe if you think that it's not answer all of the questions of yours, maybe we can discuss.
Okay. Thank you so much. I think that the time is quite almost over. But before we close this session, I would like to give the microphone again to you to give maybe the final message related about the code of conduct or code of ethics, or as well as the message for them as the freshman student or the first semester student who want to be the judges in the futures, what they need to do during their undergraduate program.
Okay, thank you very much, Bang Ari. And first of all, I want to thank to Bang Ari and all the Faculty of Law of University of Bengkulu for giving me this opportunity to discuss with you all in international class. I'm so excited to know that now my faculty, my beloved faculty, has international class. And there are 15 students, more or less, sit in this class. The second is morality. I hope that one day when you are the last year students, something like that, you can dig deeply about this issue what I delivered before. I want you to realize that there is no ethic norms in Indonesia, because all of the norms is legal norms right now. And I want you maybe realize that in the situations we have to do something and bravely speak up that, okay, this is, yeah, we can formally say that this is the the implementation of legal of ethic norms, but principally this is not implementation of ethical norm. This is legal norm, something like that. I want to make it like the right about this issue in a journal in the future. And now I am working in Supreme Court in Mahkamah Agung, and I see that we lack of judge has morality. They all talk about all the time, talk about the career. You know that this is not a job, kind of job. To be a judge is not kind of job. It is not a job at all. If you say this is a job, you are cruel people. You are an evil. How can you make a job on a fate of someone? You say that you can dead today or you can continue life. How can you say that it's your job? It's not a human being job. So if you want to be a judge, just make sure this. Just make sure yourself that I'm not working or I'm not want to build career in here. I just want to make sure the justice distribute, like Aristotle said, distribute to the people. That's it. Just make sure. And I want to congratulate. I want to say congratulations to 15 students in international class, because you are on the right person's hand. You start with the right person, Mr. Ari, you know, and I want to say that you can in my time in 2012 and 2004 until 2016, we don't have international class. We don't have a lecturer speak English fluently, except just few lecturer, and they are all continuing their studies abroad and their studies in another university. So lack of professional lecturer. Nowadays you meet with Mr. Ari and you can ask anything about scholarship, about how to see the world, how to get a better education. You know that Universitas Bengkulu tetaplah Universitas Bengkulu. Tetap misalnya Universitas Indonesia is better than Universitas Bengkulu, but you can ask to Mr. Ari that ever has experience that in University of Bengkulu, and hopefully in the close time gonna continue his study PhD in Ivy League university. I hope Oxford, bang.
Even that we are alumni of the UI, right? Okay, thank you so much, Dona, for being one of the inspiring alumni that still care to the school or to the university and faculty. And hopefully we can also invite you in another session or in another semester to talk about the maybe constitutional law or the law that related to the public law, administrative law, or judiciary power and so on and so forth. Again, thank you so much for every student. If you missed some point, you can watch it again through our YouTube channel, FA Unip TV. So again, thank you so much. I will close this session. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, thank you, Bang. Thank you, everyone.
Can you also share this?
Bye-bye.
Can you also share this slide so I can forward to the group?
Okay, I will share in here.
Maybe to my WhatsApp number so I can forward to the group.
Okay, Bang. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.